how much of the funding for legacy media is foreign? For example, we've had this whole thing with the Qatari
That's a
plane.
good point.
And I wonder, I read this article in the Free Press by Barry Weiss, and the article wasn't by Barry Weiss, but her organization. And
Substack.
it ends up illustrating the fact that the Qatari government spends more than any foreign government across our Ivy League institutions, our media, our politicians, lobbying, PR firms, twice as much as China, 3 times more than Israel. And I thought, is that part of what's impacting our ability to get the truth? Like, is that something you guys deal with? Does anybody give you some sort of a message? Like, you can't cover this story because we're getting money from so-and-so? I mean, I know you can't really tell me, but like, wink twice. Like, what are the limitations that you are?
We don't get, I don't believe, I mean, Fox doesn't directly get money from the Qatari government. If so, I mean, that's not my wheelhouse, but I'm not aware of Middle Eastern countries giving media, any media outlet, money. Now, maybe some of the investments are in some of those countries. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on that, so I'll just be completely honest. But when it comes to these institutions, definitely they're giving so much money, and we need a list just to see specifically how much Harvard's getting, how much Columbia is getting from all of these governments. But I did read that same study you did about Qatar giving so much money, and Harvard, $600 million from the federal government, your taxpayer dollars, from fiscal year 2024. That's a lot of money. Their endowment's $54 billion. And Donald Trump, he has said over the weekend, why don't we not allow, first of all, students on visas to go to this school, to go to Harvard, because he's asking for lists of the students with visas that are here just to go to school. He wants to see what countries they're from, and he wants to see if they have any connections to any terrorist organizations, any connections to Hamas, if they're involved in these anti-Semitic protests. I think we have the right to know that if we're giving them money and we're subsidizing these schools, especially with these big endowments. And then Donald Trump floated the idea of, I'll take your billions away from you and I'll put them in trade schools, because trade schools don't have these big endowments, and we need more tradesmen and women out there. We need more welders and more people that are mechanics and doing the heavy lifting for our country, because we're losing those individuals.
You know, when Biden wanted to wipe away student debt,
yes,
all I could think about was, what about the plumber
Me too.
that didn't go to college? Why is he responsible for paying for your education? And I mean, coming from a generation that did pay for their own college, I dropped out of college in year 1, so you know it's hard for me to, like, I don't have a dog in this fight. But a lot of my friends, they paid their student loans. Why should they have had to take the hit for 20 years and all of that interest and paying all that stuff off and getting put behind the 8 ball? But younger generations won't have that cross to bear. As the temps start to rise, I get that familiar urge to refresh my closet. But I am done wasting money on trendy pieces that I wear once, which is why I'm obsessed with Quince. The clothes are timeless, elevated, built to last, no insane markup. I'm talking about 100% European linen shorts and dresses that start at just $30. Italian leather platform sandals, luxe swimwear that looks straight off a runway but costs half of what you'd expect. Quince partners directly with top-tier factories, cutting out the middleman so you get designer quality at a price that actually makes sense. And they only work with ethical, responsible manufacturers who care about people and the planet. Personally, I stocked up on the linen tees and the tanks, and believe it or not, a killer summer dress. Occasionally, I do wear dresses. And honestly, it finally feels like my wardrobe matches my standards. Upgrade your wardrobe at quince.com. Luxury should never mean compromise. Team, give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I think you're seeing this fundamental shift where the left is no longer the party of the working class. The right has become the party of the working class, and the left has become the party of the elites. And you see that. And I think that's another reason I have such a hard time watching like strictly left-wing narratives, because it's this kind of elitist, obnoxious Jake Tapper character that when those of us are sitting here watching the news saying, no, I think Biden is in cognitive decline. And you mentioned Laura Trump, you watch him castigate her. Mm-hmm. When do you think this shift happened? Because the right was always like the rich white guys party. Now it's like the party of the working class with this shifting and redistributing of funds from Harvard to trade schools, for example.
I think it's Donald Trump. I don't think we've ever seen a candidate, not in my lifetime, like Donald Trump. He is so powerful. He is a working class guy, but also a billionaire. He relates to everybody. He can go to a construction site and talk to all the guys wearing hard hats, cuss like a sailor with them probably, and knows exactly what they're doing. And he can, deliver a great message. I like that. I know a lot of people say, I mean, it's hilarious that the big, beautiful bill is called the big, beautiful bill. People have just like embraced Donald Trump. They're calling, you think Washington, D.C., they're going to use the, vocabulary from Harvard or, that they learned when they were, studying for the SAT, but they're calling it the big, beautiful bill because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump went to Wharton. He's no dummy. He's very smart. He's great in interviews. He built huge companies and is a billionaire and, can afford that massive plane and buildings all over New York that have Trump's name on the side. He is no dummy. He's very smart. He knows the media. He knows his audience and he knows how to talk to America. So I think it was he just turned everything upside down. And I think more Democrats, we saw more black men voting for him. He was going to barbershops. He was serving McDonald's French fries. He eats McDonald's like everybody. I know you love it, Jillian, but a lot of the working class, they have to stop and get fast food,
I just want to give them healthier versions of that. I want to try to help them there.
He's lost a lot of weight. Remember in his last physical, they said, I think he had lost like 24 pounds. So he's getting healthier.
Okay.
But then he was driving the trash truck when they called Republicans trash. So he just is relatable. And, when you hear about what's happening at Columbia or you hear about what's happening at Harvard, why are you allowed to have an anti-Semitic march and disrupt classes and take over buildings? Why is that allowed? What if it were anti-gay marches? What if it were anti-trans marches? What if it were racist marches? How would they react then? They would put a stop to it immediately. But because it's against Jewish people, like you're allowed.
All right, tell me the truth. How many different beauty potions do you have sitting on your bathroom counter right now? Because if it's more than just Vibrance Super C Serum, then listen up. Because the ingredients in this one bottle can replace your day creams, eye creams, night creams, neck creams, wrinkle creams, and dark spot reducers. It's made in the U.S. with the highest quality ingredients, including vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, vitamin B5, vitamin E. Super C Serum delivers noticeable results. So simplify your skincare routine. Get a healthier complexion. Minimize wrinkles and age spots with Vibrance. And if you don't find it better than your current skincare, you'll get a full refund. So go to Vibrance.com/Jillian to save up to 37% off and you get free shipping. That's Vibrance, Vibrance, Vibrance.com/Jillian.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.